Finally, someone let me out of my cage. See, time for me is nothing. I am not counting an age. No, I couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs, and I'm under each snare. Intangible? Bet you didn't think so. I command you to. Panoramic view, look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose, all you different crews. Chicks and dudes, who do you think is really kicking tunes? I'll picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. Do you think it's fictional? Mystical? Maybe. Spiritual hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy? Lifeless to know the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on that hype shit. Do you like it? Gun smoking, righteous with one toke, get psychic among those possess you with one dose? Welcome to Sentimental Fools. All right. Okay. Thanks for being here, friends. I appreciate you. Welcome back. All right. Today we got a story to tell you. All right. This is about finding music. Back in the day a little bit. Finding music pre-streaming. Finding music early internet. All right. This is a story from my childhood. All right. And this is just a good example of what it was like to try to find music back in the day. Okay? Back in my day. Not back in the day. Back in my day. This is personal. Okay? And, just the challenges and also the mystery of it. Right? It was harder to find music sometimes, right? And it gave it this mystique, right? And in this story in particular, there's even more mystery. Because the music I was trying to find back in the day, right, when I was a boy, was Gorillaz. Everybody knows Gorillaz. They have made hit after hit after hit, multi-generational hit. Okay? Everybody loves them. Awesome animated characters, beautiful art, catchy as shit, musically unique. It's the Gorillaz, man. Okay? All right? Fuck. What do you want me to tell you? It's the Gorillaz. All right. Now, their self-titled album, right, came out in 2001. Ooh, and you know what it had on it? Of course you do. It had on it Clint Eastwood, among a few other notable tunes, I listened to this album over and over again back in the day. Come on. M1, A1, 1,000 miles an hour. Come on. Get the cool down on paper. Get the cool shoe shine. Get the cool shoe shine. Right? Gravity, never let me down, down. Good stuff, man. Good stuff on that album. But come on, the big single, fucking Clint Eastwood, right? I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless. Not for long. The future is coming on. Coming on. Right? Okay. So this story starts with... this story contains so many interesting little universes in it, right? So this story starts with Comcast cable, okay? My family got the Comcast broadband cable, whatever that was, early. So in 2001, I don't know, I was in fourth grade, fifth grade, something like that, I think. I don't know. I was 2001, I was 10. You figure it out. I don't know. But anyway, it starts off with Comcast, right? Now, when you had Comcast, I don't know if they still do this. I don't know who still has cable, you know? I think this still exists on satellite and cable things, right? But you get into the really high number channels, right? And they just turn into music stations. They just turn into essentially just music streaming stations, right? Some of them it's audio only. You know, tell me if you remember this, you know, or if this is still happening. I don't know, right? You get up into like the 700s, 600, 700s, and it's just a country music station, you know, 90s alternative station, 80s glam rock station, you know, 70s rock, 60s folk, you know, whatever. Just different genres that just have access to music libraries, have rights to whatever, I don't know, and are just constantly cycling through songs. Some of them are audio only. Some of them were video as well. Some of them cycled through music videos, right? Now, I was fascinated at this as a child, right? This was new and interesting. No commercials, right? Because I watched MTV as a kid, VH1, tried to experience some new music, see what was out there, right? But this was cool. You know, this was another way to get exposure to music, okay? So I'd be on these channels sometimes, checking them out, looking at different genres, putting them on in the background sometimes, just seeing what would come up, man. And this was on one of the video channels. Right? Now I was young. This memory is just it's a soft, gooey memory, right? It's not vivid, right? It's soft and fuzzy, right? Like a stuffed animal fur, you know? But I remember sitting in the family room in my home, my childhood home, on one of these 700, 800 number Comcast channels. One that cycled through music videos, right? And I caught the middle of the Clint Eastwood music video. And I was just like, my shoulders dropped. It was like, whoa, what's this? Right? Clint Eastwood, very unique song, right? Very unique hook, hip-hop fusion kind of a piece, right? Super unique vibe, right? And then the video, if you remember the video, it's all animated, right? Animated characters, right? With a lot of charm and personality. They all got their own thing going on. Big monkeys doing weird dances, you know? Totally unique, characteristic art style, animation, everything, right? It just hits. There's a reason that, you know, that almost everybody knows that goddamn song. There's a reason everybody knows goddamn Gorillaz. It's just it's fucking art, okay? So I come in the middle of that, you know, and I hear that hook, that haunting hook. I ain't happy, feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. And it just like, it just enters into my brain and it just lives there, right? It just sets up shop. It buys a couch. It puts a down payment down. It settles right the fuck in. It's just delicious, right? I hear that. I'm just like, oh, this is fucking cool. I don't even have the words for it. This is just awesome. And then the rapping from Dell, I didn't even know who that was at the time. I was just a kid. It was just raw, sensory information. Just killing it, you know? It's like when you're a baby and you don't have names for nothing. You know, it's just vibrations. It's just gooey, messy vibrations, right? So I'm just experiencing this and it's just hitting, right? And then I'm like, who is this? But it gets to the end of the video and it doesn't fucking tell me. All right. Now, there's a lot of people grew up in different times who can relate to something like this. You hear a song on the radio, right? And you just miss the part where they tell you what it is, or they forget to tell you what it is at the end, or you get to the end of the play block and they don't recap what it is. or you see a music video and you miss the end, or you just hear something in a department store over the radio and you're just like, you just hear a little bit of it and you're like, shit, what was that? And you don't have time. You're not going to hang around in Sears. You're not going to hang out in Sears to the end, you know? So that happened a lot. And you got to ask other people and they don't know. And it's just this whole thing, you know? There wasn't, if someone didn't tell you, you just didn't fucking know. You had to go on a quest, right? Now, it was even harder for me, right? Because fucking as a kid, I don't even have a lot of like access to other like adults, you know? I was just the only child and no siblings. My parents didn't know what this was. I don't even remember getting like a lot of airplay on the radio at the time. Maybe it did, but I don't remember, because I was listening to like alternative music stations at that time, in the early 2000s, you know, in the Chicagoland area. It was called Q101, right? And you know, they were playing all the shits. They were playing alternative stuff, you know. They were playing fucking Korn, you know, fucking new metal, fucking all that, you know. It was rad, but I don't remember hearing that on the radio, and I was dying to hear it somewhere, right? And so this thing just eluded me. It just felt like a weird dream I had, you know, just seeing this video. It just eluded me. I didn't have anyone I could ask, really. I'd never heard it on the radio. Never saw the music video again. It was like for a year. It just to the point where I felt it was just like some weird dream I had. Like, was that real? Did I see that? Right? This is even fuzzier. I don't even remember how I found out later. I really don't. Okay? But it was at least a year. It was at least a year before I figured out who this was. Okay? Now, and so, yeah, for just a year, I didn't hear it. That was the only time I heard it. So just a year, it just existed in my head only, in my world. Just in that ethereal space, just in that liminal space, just as sounds, you know? Just mental sounds, just that chorus just going around in my head, you know? Dying to know what it is, dying to hear more of it, right? So I don't even remember how I found out about it, okay? Like, maybe I saw the video again. Maybe someone decided to play it on MTV or something, right? I don't remember. But I found it, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay. It's okay, it's a band called Gorillaz, okay? Very interesting. What's going on with them? I start trying to look them up a little bit. And so I found, okay, they got this CD, this self-titled CD. I want that CD. Okay? I start trying to look them up on the internet as well, right? And what the fuck? They're so mysterious, right? You look them up on the internet in the early 2000s. Now, here's for context again here. At the time, my family were a little behind, right? Still rocking, you know, big gray CRT monitor computer, you know? They had it for a long time. It could not handle, it could not handle fast internet speeds. All right. It was just like fucking click. Wait. All right. Click. For everything. Okay? All right. Slow as shit. So I'm on this big old clunker, you know, this big old Model T. Not Model T. I don't know. What would it be? You know, I don't know. Like a gremlin. I don't know, dude. I don't know the car analogy for this. I'm on this big old gray clunker, trying to look up Gorillaz, taking ages. right? And just, what the fuck? What a fucking mystery, right? Can't find any names, right, of who's involved in this project, right? Total mystery. Animated faces, right? It's just like, what? God damn. What is this world? Now, another interesting thing is that at the time, Gorillaz had a very interesting website. I've tried to look up like images or videos of this website that they used to have. I forget if I was able to find anything. Maybe. I had a tough time. If any of you remember this, right? The Gorillaz website in the early 2000s, please, like, let me know that you remember this and that I'm not crazy, okay? And if you know of any video footage of it, I'd love to fucking see it. I need help. Help me. Help me remember, okay? God damn it. But their website, it was this whole world. They built a whole world around these characters, right? So the website was like the house that all these characters in the band live in. And you can click around kind of like a point and click game to all their different rooms, right? All their different spaces, like what kind of space would Noodle live in? What kind of space would Murdoch live in? What would Murdoch's room look like, right? And you're able to go into all these different rooms, interact with things, all this weird shit, right? You know, you click on something and it does a little animation or it zooms in and you can look at different stuff, right? And there was little extra content in there. I don't remember a lot of it. It's very hazy, but I remember the gist of like you could explore their space. And the one thing I do remember, because it was really neat for the time, was, so if you're familiar with the first Gorillaz album, the self-titled album, the artwork, the cover art on the front, the album art, is the whole band, the whole Gorillaz band, in a big old camo dune buggy. Okay? So someone made a 3D rendered game where you could drive the Gorillaz dune buggy around an environment. And it was kind of like a desert environment with like big, like highway, like strips of highway, like stretching high into the air. You could fly off the highway and fly off ramps and stuff. And it was actually pretty cool. Like, it was pretty responsive. It was quick. And I think Gorillaz music was playing, you know, while you were driving the dune buggy around. It was kind of fucking rad, right? And so I remember trying to, and it was on the website. Like, you go to a spot, you know, on the website and you're like, oh shit, here's a game. And I remember driving the dune buggy around. I remember trying to do it on my home computer and it just was not happening. Like, it would kind of load it, but it was just laggy as fuck, you know, like the dune buggy would try to go and it would just be like, none of this, okay? Nothing smooth, just all right? Very unsatisfying, but still neat to see. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. All right? And then, one fateful day, right? And this ties into another interesting moment in my life, okay? So much around this Gorillaz thing. Another fateful day, my mom, for years, has worked in customer service, right? She's been a customer service supervisor for fucking forever, okay? At the time, she was working at this company, customer service supervisor, and it was bring your kid to work day. For whatever reason, they did that. I don't know. I don't know what those days were for. I don't get it, okay? But anyway, it was bring your kid to work day, all right? Now, the day I happened to be there, there was some problem in the office. Like, I think the proprietary software that they would use, you know, to take in customer service requests and schedule things and organize things, you know, it was down. And it hadn't been fixed yet. It was down. And so everybody was just doing other kinds of busy work. Like they had to kind of just, you know, take a break from the normal customer service routine and do some other shit that needed doing. Right? This just happened to be on Take Your Kid to Work Day. And what that meant is that I could fuck around on my mom's work computer, which was a lot fucking better and a lot more well-equipped than my computer at home. Okay? And holy shit, I felt for the first time in my life responsive internet surfing, where it's click, yeah, click, done, click, done, click, done. Next page, next page, next page. Are you fucking kidding me? Right? There's a lot of you out there, all right, who have never not had responsive, immediate internet surfing, where you click and it goes. Click, loads, click, loads. But so many other folks, right? There was a time before that, and there was a time after. And that time before that, holy shit. It was, a lot of waiting, man. A lot of just click, and it just loads. Click. Like it's printing each page, you know? But there I was, at my mom's nice work computer, right? For the first time in my life, responsive internet surfing. And it was like a fucking drug. It was like fucking just straight dopamine injection, you know? Right in the vein, man. Dopamine to the dome. Fuck. So good. So much fun. First thing I wanted to do, I wanted to go play that fucking dune buggy game. Oh my God, I wanted to go play that fucking dune buggy game. I went straight to Gorillaz.com, looking around, quick, blowing my goddamn mind, right? Go to the dune buggy game, and there it is, smooth as fucking butter, man. Just cruising. I was like, this is so good. It was so much fun. All right. So yeah, this also ties into, the first time I was on like a nice, responsive, high-speed internet connection. Man, it was crazy. It was crazy to have had experiences before and after that. One moment. Okay. Let's get a little deeper now. All right, so now I know who makes the song. I know about Gorillaz. I have dived deeper into their world, even though I don't know at all who is making this music. It's a total fucking mystery. He has not revealed himself. None of the people have revealed themselves. It's just these sounds. It's just these sounds and these characters. I don't know. Total mystery. Maybe he did reveal something. I don't really remember, but I don't remember that. I don't remember anything. I think he really kept it on the down low for a while. Good old. Well, we'll get into who it is. I'm sure you know who it is, but let's stay in the moment. Let's stay in the mystery, okay? So, one thing I do know is that I want this fucking album, right? But oh no, right? I'm a kid. And guess what? The album has little cuss words. The album has swears. It has some fucks and some shits on it. Right? Has a handful of fuck shits. Right? And I don't have a cool older brother, right? To hook that shit up, you know? everything has to be approved through the pipeline of my parental figures, okay? Right? Which even though probably around the same time I saw the South Park movie, I don't know what childhood is chaos. I don't know what is happening. I saw the South Park movie, but then I was required to get an edited version, a censored version of the Gorillaz album. I don't know what is happening. Okay? Anyway, but yes, I had to find a censored version of the Gorillaz album, right? Because that's one thing that I was born after. I was born after parental advisory stickers. Okay. I don't even know if this is a fucking thing anymore. Is it? Did people stop caring about that? I haven't bought a CD in fucking... I don't even know. 10 years ago, maybe? And then before that, another 10 years? Right? I buy vinyls, man. Nobody's putting parental advisory stickers on vinyl, are they? I don't fucking know. But it used to be a big deal, right? Fucking Tipper Gore, right? Back in the day, got the PMRC together because they were worried about these themes and these words. Kids have access to these. Think about the children, all right? And then fucking Dee Snider and Frank Zappa got together to try to stop them, being like, dude, shut up. Just let music be music, right? It's not up to to a government agency to put stickers on shit. Leave it alone. And they lost. And so and that was in the 80s. And I grew up in a time post parental advisory stickers, right? So it was a common thing for, if your album had a parental advisory sticker on it, that you would release a second album, an alternate album that was censored so that everybody could enjoy it, right? So it's for all ages. It's for all ages, okay? So that would happen. So Gorillaz, had a handful of fuck shits on it. Okay, fine. Not even that many. Just a few. Just a couple. It's so few. Maybe just 2. Yeah, you look it up. I don't know. It was just a fucking couple. Most of it was nothing. Right? But I couldn't get the uncensored version. It just wasn't in the cards for little Chris. Okay? So I had to find a censored version of the Gorillaz self-titled album. Excuse me. Now, that was a whole process in and of itself, all right? Here's another little challenge to finding music, pre-streaming, pre-internet music, okay? I had to go actually find this thing. I wish I still had it. I don't know where it is. Just lost to time, unfortunately. I really wish I still had it. But I had to go to Best Buy in person and ask them, do you have a censored version of Gorillaz? And they're like, no. What are you talking about? I'm like, okay. So I had to go to Suncoast Video and Music or whatever. Hey, do you have a censored version of... No? Fuck. I had to go to Sears. Hey, do you have a... No? Fuck. Go to Sam Goody. Hey, do you have a censored... No? Fuck. I just go to every fucking place that sold music. Got to a point where I was just like, let's not waste time. Let me just call them. Let me just little kid call them. Hey, do you on the phone, on my landline. Hey, do you have a censored version of Gorillaz? No? Okay, well, I'm not wasting my fucking time. I'm wasting my mom's time, right? So we finally found it somewhere. I forget where. Maybe it was Sam Goody. Maybe. I kind of forget, right? But we find it somewhere, and oh my God. Holy shit, was I excited. Finally, I get to have this music in my house. Oh my God. You know how excited I was? I was on my landline phone. Like, you have it? You have the thing? Fuck! Yes! So goddamn excited. Oh my God. We drive out. We get this thing. And yeah. It's like a year and a half, almost 2-year process from seeing the music video to getting the CD, right? Holy fucking shit. Let me just recap you on that. Almost a 2-year process to get the music that I wanted to hear, right? None of this just like scrolling through, just like, oh, that's an interesting artist. What's their name? Oh, that's their name. Look them up on Spotify or Apple Music. Oh, there they are. There's their album. It's in my hand. What did that take? A minute? Okay? Almost a 2 fucking year process in the early 2000s from the moment that I caught a glimpse of this music video, was enraptured, right? I want this. I want this. Take my money, right? To not hearing it again for at least a year. To magically finding it again, accidentally, right? Through, I don't know, I don't even remember. Maybe I heard it on the radio. Maybe I saw it on MTV or something, right? But I'm just like, oh, there it is. There it is. Holy shit. Right? To researching them on the internet, finding out what their album looked like, what it was called, investigating the mystery of this strange group. Was it even a group? Was it one guy? Was it 2 guys? I don't know. Right? Total mystery. Just cartoon characters, right? This is like a similar story to, like, you know, people back in the day, like seeing Blair Witch for the first time. You know, this is a similar thing. Like, you could get away with doing shit like this back then. You could have this kind of mystery, right? Because it was just harder to find shit out. You could hide shit. You could be mysterious and cool and play with people in ways that you just, it's really hard to do now, right? It's too easy to figure shit out. Do you like that sound? I don't know what that was. Forget it. Forget it. Fucking Ray Romano came out of me for a second. Just forget it. Get it out of here. I don't have time for that. But you could do that shit back in the day. You could be interesting and mysterious because it was harder to find shit out, right? So I'm digging into it. I'm looking at art. I'm looking at these characters. I'm exploring their website. I'm playing the fucking video. I'm playing the Jeep video game, right? And then this long search going to multiple music retailers to find a censored version of this album, to finally getting it home and popping it in my little fucking boombox I had in my room. And finally, like 2 years later, there I am, sitting there finally with this music on demand in my house. Holy fucking shit. And I'm listening, you know, oh shit, dude. And I think I've talked about this before, but or maybe I haven't. Regardless, that is something that I fucking miss. Like, I don't miss it personally, right? I still have this experience of you have to sometimes go through so much effort to get music, right? To get an album that you're invested in it already, right? Even if it's easier to get music, like the easiest version of getting music back in the day, it's like you see a music video, you do catch the name of the artist in the music video, and then you drive to Best Buy and you find the CD and you put money down, you buy it, you go home, right? But even that's an investment, man. That's still harder than it is now, right? You had to be watching TV, you had to see something, you got excited, you had to get fucking dressed, get in your car, spend gas money, walk into a store, interface with people, find the shit on the rack, go through, hope it's there, right? Find it, interface with people, pay money, and it was money, you know? Albums were like, I don't know, CDs were like, it was like 14, 15 bucks, sometimes more, right? So you're invested, even if it's easy like that, right? Even if it's the easiest version of getting music at that time, right? You're invested. And so you take that CD, you have it in your car, you pour over that CD. You pour over that CD. You pour over that music, okay? Because you're invested in it, right? So yeah, you get to hear the hit single off that CD, right? The one that hooked you. You get to enjoy that, and but you listen to the rest of it. And the songs that maybe at first you don't like as much, right? You keep listening to the CD and it all starts to grow on you, right? And you remember everything. You start to remember how the songs flow into one another, you know? And I feel I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong that like people aren't experiencing music like that as much, you know? And in two ways, they're not as invested, right? Because it's so easy to access music. You can access almost anything you want for free on YouTube if you don't have a subscription. Excuse me. If you don't have a subscription to a music streaming service, it's all on YouTube anyway, pretty much. And it's all free. There's advertisements, but whatever, you know? It's all right there. So you're just not invested in any of this, you know? And so not only are you not invested in it, like you're actively trying to appreciate it, right? You're actually, you know, you're not just like sitting back like, yeah, fucking impress me. Yeah, let me see what you got. I don't know. Let's see if you can grab my attention. I don't know, give it a try. You know, you were in there. You're like, come on, you were digging. What is here to appreciate? You know? You were trying to connect with it. You weren't just sitting back, you know, just connect with me. You do it, you know? You were really a part of it, right? You were actively a part of it. And you were also getting into the whole album experience, which I feel has gone down. Obviously, people are putting out full albums all the time still, but fuck, I don't know. It's just not the same, you know? The full album used to be this just connected experience, and you just had it in your car. It was just the whole album was on loop anytime you went anywhere, you know? The whole album used to be more of a special thing. It used to be like, you know, the full movie, you know? Not just watching scenes and clips from a movie. You watch the whole movie. That's the whole package. That's the full artistic expression, right? So I think we've gotten a little too obsessed with singles, you know, a little too focused on these big hit things, not appreciating the album as much, and not actively connecting and like meditating on this shit, because we're just not as invested. The current music landscape and accessibility doesn't inspire that as much. Of course it still happens, but it just doesn't inspire it as much. Probably mention this a lot and be a goddamn broken record about this shit, but it means a lot to me, you know? And so like I still experience music that way, right? If I get hooked into like, you know, if I see something like, oh shit, Bela Fleck's got a new record coming out, you know? Something Bela Fleck is on. If you don't know Bela Fleck, just wait. If you like music, if you like fucking music, and you don't know who Bela Fleck is, just wait. Bela Fleck will come into your life when you are ready to receive him. Okay? Just wait. Just keep enjoying music. Keep going down the path. And at some point, Bela Fleck will come by and be like, hey, what's up? And you look forward to that day. He is a goddamn national treasure. Holy fucking shit. Fucking some of the purest music I've ever heard in my whole life. Just direct fucking pointing music pointing directly at the goddamn mystery of life. Right? Just right there. So good. But I digress. If I see Bela Flex got a new album coming out, I get fucking excited. Right? And I pour over that album. Listen to it back to front. Again. I want to get in there. I want to feel all the feelings. Right? I want to have all the experiences. I want it to hit me this way. I get invested. I still experience music in that way. Right? But I just wanted to, enlighten you of a time when the whole music landscape inspired you to do that with every album, every artist. Okay? So anyway, there I was, finally, 2 years into this thing, in my room, with the goddamn CD, listening to this shit on demand. Okay? That was what it was like. And there I was, I'm looking through the liner notes. I'm looking at the lyrics, right? I'm memorizing how to do, Del the Funky Homo Sapiens fucking rap from Clint Eastwood, I'm memorizing that shit. That stuff is stuck with me forever. Still do it, So much fun. And I'm listening to all these other goofy songs, so unique at the time, right? So unique and charming, just like that little dub influence and hip hop and so kind of poppy and rocky. It was just this beautiful mix of everything. Huge inspiration on me, right? Huge inspiration on me because that's my favorite shit. I love shit that doesn't really belong anywhere. It's out of time, out of place. Just unique combinations of different ideas and vibes and just all mixed together, a complex character of a musical expression, Just like the kind of guy who he loves hang gliding, right? And he loves playing pool, and he loves to cook, and he loves old cars, right? And he loves country music, but he also likes hip hop, and he also likes rock. And just complex characters, man. Complex character of a musical expression, right? So fucking cool. Huge inspiration, right? Okay, so there it is. That's the main chunk of this story, right? I just wanted to give you a glimpse into what it was like to try and find music you were into, right? Before music streaming, before everything was available on the internet, right? What it was like to experience the mystery of a band like Gorillaz. Back when achieving mystery, intrigue, right? Mystique was more possible because it was harder to find shit, right? Also intertwined with experiencing high-speed internet for the first time in my life, right? Experiencing interesting, artistic, experimental website design back in the day, right? There weren't a lot of crazy websites like that back then, There was a lot going on the internet. That's another thing that's a little lost. It's we don't... Now I feel like we go on the internet, we go to the same places. We go to Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, YouTube, Twitch. That's where we go. But back in the day, it was just it was a whole landscape. It's a whole landscape of .coms, right? That you just bounce around and you find little corners what are these guys doing? What are these guys doing? What's happening over here? Holy shit, what do you get? And everything was unique, right? Everybody wasn't using Squarespace, right? Everybody had to figure out how to design these things or hire designers, to make these things or figure out how to code them. They were all so unique and charming, right? So this story intertwines with that as well, right? And then just that feeling of when you finally get it, right? After a search for that long, how just important it was. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget finding that music at that time, right? So it's just an amazing example of that place and time and finding music and what it meant, how impactful it was, how the challenges, the ups and downs of finding, it's a whole adventure. It's a whole thing, right? And it sticks in your head so much, right? Just wanted to share that with you because it's so interesting to me. So interesting to me to look back on that and remember that whole experience, okay? And we got one more little thing to talk about, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? But one more thing. So, now again, Gorillaz is a fucking mystery to me. I don't know who's making this music. It was not revealed. It was kept secret, This gentleman, he just wanted it to be about the music. So he's like, just listen to it. It ain't about me. It's about these sounds, okay? So it was mysterious, right? And I found out who was making this music. Again, accidentally, okay? Right? Because I'm just listening to the radio. I'm listening to the alternative shit, right? And another really popular song in that time period, right, was Song 2 by Blur, right? And I feel heavy metal, and I'm busy up needles. All right. Song 2, fucking great. Blur, fucking great. I loved it, right? And, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. Obviously, right? But I didn't even realize it right away. I love that song. And so I wanted that album too, right? So I think I ended up getting like the Best of Blur, right? CD of the Best of Blur, right? And it was great. And I'm listening to the rest of these songs, I'm listening to fucking Coffee and TV, So much fun. Great fucking songs, but I'm listening to all these, and then just slowly, I'm just like, wait a fucking minute. Wow, that voice. I know that voice. And I don't know how I didn't notice it sooner. It's such a characteristic voice. But it just took me a minute. I just didn't piece it together. Gorillaz was so mysterious, right? But I'm just like, I know that fucking voice. That's the guy. That's gotta be the guy. Right? That's gotta be the guy singing in Gorillaz. Right? And then so I'm looking through the liner notes of the Best of Blur CD. Who's in this band? Who's singing? And there he is. Damon Albarn. Damon Albarn, right? Is that how you say it? I haven't heard his name said too many times, right? Just read it. Damon Albarn. And God, I felt like fucking Sherlock Holmes. Felt like a goddamn sleuth. Felt like a goddamn private detective. Right? Because it was just that accent. I just got into Blur, and then I just got to have that moment. Not through internet research, not like, who is in Gorillaz? Tell me who played this and that. Who sang? Who did drums? Who did this? Right? But just natural. I just got into Blur, and then I was just like, wait a minute. So I got to have another just real life moment, like you solve a hard puzzle in a game without looking it up online. You get to have that real, like, this was me. It was this game in my brain, and I did this, right? Got to have the real, it was organic. It was organic, man. Oh, so it was just so cool. So I wanted to share that with you too, that just like, I was looking through, I'm like, there he is. I started to peel back the mystery of Gorillaz a little bit, just organically, naturally. How fucking cool. I'll never forget that either. I felt like I knew something that, like, obviously other people knew that, obviously, right? Older people who had more experience doing research, looking into things, right? But I was just a kid. So I felt like I had unearthed a secret, I had peered beyond the veil into the void, and there was Damon Albarn, It was cool. So I just want to share with you that as well. Just want to share that with you as well. There you go. Okay. So there's the story, friends. There is the story, friends. We will end it there. All right. There is the story of what it was like. Sometimes finding music before it was so instantly accessible. Right? It wasn't too much longer after that excuse me, that you could get music on iTunes or Real Player. Y'all remember Real Player? It's a goddamn antique now. Fucking Real Player, right? Wasn't too much longer after that. It was a little bit. I kind of forget when that all started, right? But where it got a little easier to get your hands on some music. But yeah, so just a little story of just, really what it felt like to try to find some music at that time before it was so accessible, right? And the mystery of it all, right? And the special mystery of Gorillaz, right? And the feeling of what it was like to finally get it in my house after like a 2-year quest, right? How special it was, how important, how much I poured over it because of how much I was invested in it, and how that's kind of being lost nowadays to some degree, right? And then uncovering the mystery further in the early internet and all of this, okay? The story contains so much, I thought you'd appreciate it, okay? Certainly one of my favorite little memories. I just wanted to share it with you. All right, so yes, let's end it there. All right? And again, as always, I'm going to keep doing this, new episodes every Tuesday at 8 a.m., right? Okay. Everything's up on the podcast audio platforms on Spotify Podcast and Apple Podcast now, so you can listen to that as well. There's links in the description for that. Okay? Please go and listen. If you're feeling generous, right? Easier to listen in the background on there while you're doing dishes or you're cleaning your fucking house or whatever you're fucking doing, okay? If you go over there feeling generous, leave a nice rating for me, okay? I'm trying to get this shit going. I'm trying to find the people who want this kind of shit. All right? Help me out. Help me out. Come on. Come on. Come on. Help me out. Anyway, if you want to help me out in other ways, there's links in the description that can lead you in the right direction. All right? You can listen to my music on Spotify or Apple Music. Okay? That helps me out. You can buy my music on Bandcamp. You can listen to my music on here. Share my music. Check out the other episodes, right? Got other videos to watch, other cool shit. Go to my website, chrisdacosse.com, for fucking everything. Links in the description below. Have fun. Okay? But that's it. Thanks for being here, friends. Okay? Until next time. Bye. Bye. Okay? I'll see you later. Hey, happy. I'm feeling glad I got... Bye. Bye, friends. I got sunshine. Bam. Bye-bye. See ya. Useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on.